Hey there, Luke here from Beckman Ready, where we help prepare you for the bumps, roadblocks, and emergencies that life throws your way. On this channel, we focus on pro tips, tools, tricks, and easy to digest information to help you prepare for emergencies. In this video, we're going to focus on wildfires and why they happen. So let's get started. Wildfires are natural. They happen in the same areas over and over again. And there are four main conditions that are big triggers for when wildfires are going to happen. The first is high temperatures, when it's really hot. The second is when the air is really dry and what we call a low relative humidity. The third is strong winds. Now that could be gusts or that could be really strong sustained winds. Now the fourth category is fuel load, and that's basically stuff for fires to burn. That could be dry trees, plants, grass, bushes, shrubs, you name it. But basically we're talking dry or dead plants. As we said, wildfires are naturally occurring. Now, most naturally occurring wildfires are caused by lightning, right? Lightning strikes the ground, there's a spark, and now we have a fire. But many fires these days are caused by humans or are man-made. When we talk about the breakup of how many fires are natural and how many caused by humans, about 85 to 90% of wildfires are man-made. That remaining 10 to 15%, those are natural. Let's talk about acreage of wildfires. So how much area burns and how much of that burn area is from naturally occurring wildfires and man-made wildfires. About 60% of burn area, so that total burned acreage, is caused by natural wildfires, so lightning strikes. The remainder, about 40% of acreage, is from man-made or human-caused wildfires. You remember from when you were growing up, Smokey the Bear, and he said, only you can prevent wildfires? Well, he's still around, and he's right. Only you can prevent wildfires. And I want to focus on some of the causes of human or man-made wildfires. There are two kinds of man-made or human-caused wildfires. First is intentional, and the second is unintentional. Intentional fires, those are arson, and that's people who go out and intentionally light fires. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. The second kind is unintentional or accidental fires. Now let's break up the different types of accidental fires. There are two categories of man-made or human-caused wildfires. The first is arson or intentional fires. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. People go out and they intentionally light fires. The second category is accidental. People don't mean to start the fire. Maybe it's negligence, carelessness, or bad equipment, but still the fires start. There are three categories of man-made accidental wildfires. So let's break them down. The first area are campfires. So you go out, you're camping with your buddies, you're hiking, you're backpacking, you have a campfire, you're having a great time, and you don't put it out. You go to bed, you turn around, you stop paying attention, you leave the area, and the fire burns. Now, it's really important to completely douse and put out your campfires. So how do you know when the fire's really out? Well, touch it. Now you might be saying, well, do I have to touch the fire? No, you're not touching the fire because you should have put it out. So when you're going to bed, when you leave your campsite, you need to douse that. And when I mean douse it, I'm talking take a whole bunch of water. Now if you think you have enough, probably double it. Pour it over your fire. You're going to want to mix it up till you almost have kind of like a sludge or a soup. And that's water with the ash. And so you mix it up and you get all of those hot coals. You need to cover them, soak them in water. Put your hand over it. If it's still too warm or still too hot to touch, you need to put more water on it. So that's dousing your campfire. The second category of man-made accidental wildfires are equipment. Now, when I talk equipment, we are talking about fixed infrastructure equipment and also mobile stuff, things that move around. So the first, on the fixed side, we're looking at power lines. That could be distribution lines that come to your house along the street, or it could be those big transmission lines you see when you're sort of driving out in the country that bring power to your neighborhood. Both of those types of lines can spark. Usually if there's high winds, something blows into them or a cable comes loose, there's spark, hits the ground, now you have a wildfire. The other kind of equipment would be portable equipment like a weed whacker, a lawnmower, a scooter, could be your car, could be chains to a trailer that are dragging on the side of the road. Any one of those different things can cause a spark. And if you're not careful, that spark can burn like crazy and now we have a wildfire. The third category of man-made accidental wildfires are debris fires. And that's usually what we would call a burn pile. So let's say you've got a big yard, you've got some great, landscaping, or maybe you've got a farm and you pile up a whole bunch of dead stuff after you do some gardening. Could be leaves, trees, bushes, branches, whatever it is. You pile it up and you burn it. That's a burn pile. Now, burn piles, a lot of times you have to have a specific permit and you can only burn on certain days. A lot of local areas, most actually, have very specific rules and regulations for burn piles, when you can burn, how you can burn, what you can burn. But a lot of times those actually can get out of control. Wind blows something, now you've got sparks and embers that start flying away, and now we have a wildfire. To recap, the 3 areas of man-made accidental wildfires are campfires, equipment, and debris. That's all for this video. We hope you found it helpful and that you got some tips and tricks and got to understand a little bit more about how wildfires happen. And don't forget, only you can prevent wildfires. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and click like or subscribe. We've got a lot more wildfire and other emergency content coming your way. So thanks for sticking with us, and we hope to see you again real soon.